Championship night. As we get ready, our 600s are split into two groups. First drivers you'll see gunning for positions in heat races 1 and 3. As you've got John Peters in the 49, Jake Truman the 14, Cruz Kench in the 40, and Kyle Mitchell in the 7. Mitchell, Truman, Kench, and Peters 1 through 4 early here. We got another 8 cars that are going to come out and compete for spots in heat races 1 through 3. We have our first dual fisting beers of the night. That was well done until the handoff. Dakota Drake is 22D. Dylan Resch is 23R. Jared Peterson is 21P, and the 21C is Corbin Ramsey. Peterson now quick time over Mitchell, Ramsey, Resch, and Drake. And final 4 for flight number 1. This is Reese Wickard, the white and gold 14. Sawyer Baxter is the 88, Dustin Ramsey, the 20D, and Brody Ferguson, the 3B, as Baxter problems on the 88 car. So green is out. Final 3 cars now for flight number 1. And for the final 3 as it was, Peterson, Mitchell, Ramsey, Ferguson, and Wickard will make up the top 5 for flight number 1. Flight 2 is next, 11 cars. Beginning of flight number 2 is Emma Chorney in the 19E. It is the 8 of Nicholas Howard from Lawrence, Kansas. That's the 24 of Chase Jensen. And out of Marysville, the 7D8. That's Derek Torkelson, former track champion. Brand new car from stem to stern here on the 7D8. Howard's got the quickest lap so far. Second quick is Torkelson in the 7D8. Jensen third, Chorney 4. Here is the 28 of Austin Held, Levi Hillier. In the 24L, Cooper Anderson is in the 2, and Riley Kench is in the 40. Hillier, Held, Howard, Anderson, and Torkelson, your top 5, with just a few more to go. And your final 4, Elijah Elder in the 2E, Carson Guffey, the camera kid, in the 14, Jalen Serrano in the 44, and Travis Hart, no relation, the 15H. Finisher off, Levi Hillier, quick time in flight 2, Austin Held, Carson Guffey, Nicholas Howard, and Cooper Anderson. I wonder if the flag off the back of the Hart car added too much drag. Just saying.
Now I gotta ask, are you guys truly related?
No.
It's just a coincidence.
Not that we found through the family tree. Points leader Colin Mackey in the 11C. 99 of David Green. The black and pink 14 is Tank Chorney. Spencer Constance is in the mismatched top wing and body scheme 78. Clayton Jalakis, the black and red 21, the 9T Tristan Thomas. And there's your cars. All right, so now that we've got Paul down here to the front stretch as well, along with Bill, we can tell you guys the reason that we just stopped the whole show to bring them forward. It is, of course, Skagit Speedway night of the races here at Deming Speedway for the midseason championship night. And the Lemley brothers, the three of them, Dave, Bill, Paul, contributed more to the early growth of Skagit Speedway than any other group. Their father was the original GM promoter of the racetrack. Dave, winning driver, assisted in much of the construction in the 60s and 70s, was also at the track GM promoter for about 9.5 years in the 80s and 90s. Bill, who you see here on the right, driver and mechanic for the famous Ford number 10, also in charge of building many of the projects such as the guardrails and the grandstands. His mechanical skills have kept much of the equipment running for over 40 years. Paul, youngest of the boys, always working on the race car and doing maintenance at the Speedway as well for Jim Raper and brother Dave. Started and continues to operate here what we have at Deming Speedway so well, and was the GM promoter of Skagit Speedway in the 90s. It is my distinct pleasure tonight to announce that as of next weekend, Skagit Speedway will be proud to induct Dave, Bill, and Paul Lemley into the Skagit Speedway Hall of Fame. And I can't think of three more guys that are more deserving. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you for letting me stop the race show. You can go back to working on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, next weekend, Hall of Fame at Skagit Speedway, we will induct all three Lemley brothers. So very, very cool. For 10 positions, everybody else will go to the B feature. Dakota Drake and Reese Wickard make up the front row. Corbin Ramsey is the first of about 1,021 cars you'll see tonight. Jared Peterson's the second of them in the 21P. Cruz Kench in the 40, John Peters in the 49R. It is Drake Wickard. Green is out, we're underway. Dakota, fresh off winning the 1200 heat race. Sticks the bottom of 1 and 2. Here's Wickard up top. As they are nearly side by side, Drake leads the first lap over Wickard and Peterson.
Drake just ran that entire 1200 race on the bottom as Wickard's going to look to the outside down the back straightaway. Has the run into 3. They'll be side by side off of 4. Give Wickard the lead there as we are now on lap number 3 of this 8 lap. But now Drake back to the bottom. They'll be side by side into 3.
Yeah, Wickard got caught in that muddled middle coming off the second turn. Cost him a whole lot of forward drive. Got back to the top of 3 and 4. And reasserts the lead. Now Peterson looking for some range up top to try to follow. Drake down low, not giving in. Wickard around the high side, and Peterson closing at the halfway mark.
I was going to say, we saw Peterson starting to stalk those top 2 as Jared now looks to the outside of Drake, and he'll take second spot off of 2. He is now stalking Wickard as we're halfway done here in this heat race.
And the Pelham family 21P, Peterson, the multiple-time Clay Cup champion, rolls his way into second. Does he have anything to catch Wickard, who adjusts from the high side to the low side in 3 and 4? 2 laps to go. How much room can Petey make up as he's soaking up that advantage coming out of 2?
Petey's got his car on rails on the cushion right now as Wickard bobbles on the bottom. Peterson's going to have a chance here on this final lap. White flag out. Wickard will lead into 1, and Peterson goes to the top, blows the cushion. He'll have one more chance into 3. Wickard on the bottom, Peterson on top.
Wickard down low. He'll hang on. Takes the win over Peterson. For third, Drake holds off Ramsey. Then it is Kench and Peters, your finish for the first of 4 heat races. Elder all the way up from Oregon. And the 40 is Riley Kench for your 6 cars. Going 8 times around here in our second of 4 heat races. We're green for the second heat race. Cooper Anderson angles around the high side. He's got the drop on Jensen. He'll take it to the bottom of 3 and 4, and here comes Hillier up around the high side. He's gone from 4 to 3 on lap number 1. He's looking for second off turn 2.
Jensen kind of floats that middle there as Anderson out to the lead. We have a race for second amongst 3 cars. Guffey, Hillier, and Jensen all there. Hillier goes to the bottom. He'll look for that spot, but unable to get drive out of corner 2.
It's the battle of the 24s with the 14 sitting fourth as Guffey tried the low side last time, took the high side off of 4, losing ground to that battle, and Hillier's not making big ground on Jensen yet as they mark the halfway point. Anderson getting gone. Jensen doing a good job of keeping Levi at bay.
Jensen doing a really good job, kind of feeling the car out, running low, running high. Levi's going to try to get that car spooled up on the top. Jensen having a little bit of issues on the bottom of 3 and 4, but not enough for any of the cars behind him to make a move. So Cooper Anderson just walking away.
Check out the unique placement of the camera on the Chase Jensen car. Behind the nose wing on the down tube, not affecting the aero clearly as he's driving away from Levi Hillier in these late laps of this one. 1 to go, and Cooper Anderson about to bring it home.
Yeah, Cooper Anderson unchallenged in this Speed Mart 600 heat race out of corner 4. Cooper Anderson gets the win. Chase Jensen will hang on for second. Levi Hillier third. Carson Guffey comes home 4th, Elijah Elder 5th, and Riley Kench will round out your top 6.
So Anderson takes the victory. Ryder Jacobson's our flagman. Freddie Licklama is on the lights, as they have been all year long here at Deming Speedway. Mid-season championship night at the track. Fireworks to follow the trophy presentation at the end of the night. Here in the heat race, this is all about making it into the A main event without having to go to the B. Resch, the former track champion, nice and straight through the top of 1 and 2. And looks like he'll have the lead. Coming off of 4, he will. It's Resch Truman. Mitchell, did he get across the loop?
He
did.
Yes.
So that is a complete lap.
Mitchell, that complete right side, that right rear corner of that car is completely folded in. I saw him get in the cushion over in 1 and 2 on the start. Oh, we've got parts on the track here, Caleb. Is that a shock cover? I don't think that's anything. Oh, we got some bearings. Okay.
Yeah. New parts for everybody.
Rush will lead him down and try to walk away for these 7 more laps.
Back to green. Resch with Truman going down low. Dylan finds smooth sailing up in the top of 1 and 2 once again, as it's Resch, Truman, Ferguson, and Ramsey 1 through 4 to complete the second lap.
Still seeing both lines be competitive. You can get a lot of drive off the bottom of 2, but Resch has got that car spooled up on the top down there and really able to keep it straight and get that drive.
You can almost hear it on the back straightaway up against the rev limiter on the back chute. They're twisting these engines hard. That little, I don't know, grumble of the motor at the corner entry, that's when they've hit maximum RPM, and the rev limiter chip kicks in, says, better not push it any harder. But that also means you're making maximum speed at the right point.
Yeah, and Resch is doing just that. Last time by 11:7:38, so definitely turning some laps here. Is right around the top is the place you want to be. Everybody kind of following suit. As I say that, Ferguson tries to run the bottom, but that berm, it's just really hard to get your car low enough.
You can hear it right about as he hits the Texmo building sign. Actually, a little bit earlier
really,
that time, yeah.
Engler Machine and Tool as the white flag's out for Dylan Resch.
And I know this is a newer to them motor. It's only got a couple of weeks on it, so finding the tune on the 23R, Dylan Resch will take the heat race win. Truman 2, Ferguson 3, and Ramsey 4.
Proud, yes. Caleb, there's race cars on track.
All right, we'll talk about race cars. Final heat race of the night here at Deming Speedway. And pole sitter is Emma Chorney's 19. That is the 7D8 of Derek Torkelson. Nicholas Howard all the way up from Kansas in the 8H. 28 is Austin Held. 44 Jalen Serrano. And the 15 Travis Hart. No relation. Green flag. On the initial start, we got one around. It is Travis collecting Serrano. And a yellow flag.
I would go opposite there. Serrano collecting Travis. It looked like she got sideways on the entry of 1. And
right? So if anybody would know everything about it, it would be him.
It's Derek. Well, we're going to find out. He's going to haul it into 1 here, I'm sure.
In the 7D8. Second try for him and Chorney. We're green. We'll tag the back bumper as they get into the corner. Chorney's got the early advantage. Here comes Torkelson, and he's going to get to the low side in 3 and 4 with Held up top on the hammer trying to get underneath him.
Held with the crossover down the front straightaway, pulls side by side with Torkelson, but he gets the drive off the top. Held going to peek to the bottom now as Torkelson swaps lines with him, but Chorney out front. Race on the track is for the second spot.
And away through 1 and 2 that time goes Derek as There's a line just above the slicked over groove that's got some forward bite in it. That's what he's trying to get to and trying to hit. Held down low, tiptoes, shows him a wheel but can't get by him that time. He'll threaten him again in 3 and 4.
Held pulling up side by side with Torkelson down the front straightaway. As Torkelson figuring it out, he'll cross over Austin Held out of 2. Held now back to 3rd, tries to peek to the bottom, but Torkelson has it as we're halfway home.
Straight out of the playbook. If you get slid, get to the bottom of the next corner and you can block the crossover coming. Now Held fading back. There's Howard looking to the inside on the 8H. Howard shows the right rear to Austin. Austin down low enough to impede his progress as we've got 3 laps to go here in this entertaining heat race.
Emma Chorney just out front cruising right now as the race on the track is moving for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th spot. As now Torkelson's got it fairly comfortably as long as everything goes smoothly here in these last couple laps. We'll see the white flag this time for Emma Chorney.
He's better in 1 and 2 than he is in 3 and 4, although going to the bottom of 3 and 4 is going to help him there. As one more time around, and Emma Chorney is bound for a heat race win and picking up 20-plus points. Chorney with the W of the 19, Torkelson, Held, Howard, and Serrano.
Emma Chorney down the front straightaway, your final Speed Mart 600 heat race winner. As coming up next are Scrambles.
The 9 of Tristan Thomas has got a dub. And the 99 of David Green is a victor on the year as well. There's a lot of 9s in the back row. 21 and 14 in the second row. The 11 and the 78 on row number 1. It's a very slow pace being set by Mackey. You can see Constance kind of nosing ahead, but they're even as they come through. Good start advantage, Mackey through corner number 2. As Constance is on the chase and things got narrow on the back straightaway. They all drive away. Jalakis' 21J gets through, whereas Chorney really had to burp the throttle to avoid a damaged race car.
Tristan Thomas at the back, some contact there with Green coming out of 2. Tristan will get by down the front straightaway, but definitely trying to get that drive out of 2 to make something happen is Colin Mackey right around the top. Constance not letting him get very far away, though.
It's actually giving Constance the lane that he wants to run, as Spencer way more comfortable at the low side of the racetrack. Mackey, a noted rim rider, and having a good run up and around the top. The front 2 streaking away from the rest of the field. As we're coming into the white flag, 1 to go.
Cushion over in 1 and 2 getting fairly treacherous. We see some of these cars through the middle of the field making some contact with it as Mackey goes to the bottom. Down the back straightaway, Colin Mackey will start on the pole of tonight's A main event. Constance 2nd, Jalakis 3rd, Chorney 4th, Thomas 5th, and David Green rounds out your field.
Wonder if we're going to see a last lap shenanigan here. Watch your 3rd and 4th place drivers. You can almost see Tank think about it for a second.
I could see top 4 finishers to tonight's A main event for your Speed Mart 600s.
And there's 12 of them out there, so this is going to be a absolute fight for that front 4. Ramsey and Guffey will lead them off the corner. Those 2 pit right next to each other out. Let's see if they do each other any favors. Carson trying to get to the low side from the high. He'll push into the middle of the racetrack, holds onto it though. Guffey leading early, Ramsey 2nd. Megan Truman 2nd, Ramsey 3rd, and Howard 4 on the drop of the green.
Truman had a huge run into corner 1, and he's going to have the lead now from Guffey. Huge lead, that momentum from the top and cut down to the bottom into 1. Guffey now 2nd. But we've got the
cars together front straightaway, and it was Chase Jensen who gets the worst of it. That could have been way worse. Jensen was to the inside of Corbin Ramsey. They made contact. Jensen ends up going around but doesn't end up pummeling the wall like I thought he may have. Car's still in one piece and in rolling condition. He will go to the back of the field, and that was for the transfer spot. All right, so we understand that Truman may have had two wheels up on the berm, and that is against the rules. They are putting him back one spot. And so now Guffey's going to know, okay, the 14J is willing to go all that far down.
Yeah, but now Truman knows
can't do it.
That if we do that again, I mean, we talked about that huge run that he had down into one, and unfortunately just got too low to get that spot. So now Guffey with that slow pace down the back straightaway.
Oh, and Truman's trying to loop his way outside so he can make a run again. We're back to green. Guffey, Truman, Howard, and Ramsey. There goes Corbin down to the bottom. He was in danger of maybe falling all the way back to fifth, and now he's recovered to third.
And fighting for second now with Truman. They're side by side out of four.
Getting off the rocking chair position, a big deal for Corbin Ramsey. Sawing on the wheel to wheel with Truman. Truman fishtails out of two, and Ramsey's got the second spot.
Well, it's completely different style of driving, Caleb, when you're just trying to defend. Now he's on the offense, and he's going to fight. He's going to try to track down your leader.
Truman's in trouble. Here comes Howard looking to shuffle him a spot back. Beautiful high to low move. Slides himself through the corner. Howard's got third. Truman coming after him to try to get back by on the bottom of 1 and 2.
Oh, man, Howard had a huge contact with the wall on the entry of one. Didn't seem to do anything. It turned the car almost better down the back straightaway. Now Howard's up to the third spot.
A lot of slide jobs and crossovers all over the racetrack. Top four on a breakaway, though. Dustin Ramsey, Dakota Drake, that's for fifth. Unfortunately, that's just one spot faster back to the trailer at this point. As they get after it, we're 3 to go.
Yeah, your car chase out in the 14 machine, having a little bit of a battle here with Ramsey. Ramsey will look to the bottom.
You can see Carson spinning tires, especially coming off the fourth turn. He's down low to protect. We're down to 1 to go, and Howard might try to get into this battle. Looks like we might have stretched it to 12, so it'll be a 12-lapper. Now Howard coming in. Truman spinning into the infield in turn number 1. Caution flag out.
Huge implications, Caleb. Truman was running in the fourth spot, the last transfer spot. Only needed to hang on for a few more laps. Easier said than done, but that's going to put Truman all the way to the tail of the field. And if your car's too tight on the bottom, you got to float the middle to get by some people.
So she's brought that wing all the way to the trunk. Let's see if it affects it at all. Trying to get some more downforce over the rear tires as we're down 3 laps to go. It is Guffey, Ramsey, Corbin version, Howard, Drake, and then Ramsey, Dustin version. Only 4 move forward. Back to green.
It'll be interesting to watch this fourth spot and see if Dustin's able to make any sort of move, as Guffey's going to have a good restart, but Ramsey's still right there with him. They'll both go to the bottom, almost contact on entry, as your battle is for that fourth transfer spot.
Ramsey down to the low side. Dustin Ramsey trying to pick it up from Dakota Drake. Drake off the high side. Gets by for the time being. She'll go to the bottom. That forces Dustin to the top. 1 to go. Ramsey on the charge. Drake trying to play some defense.
He knows this is the last opportunity. Drake's going to get the run out of 2. Last run down into 3, Caleb.
They're coming off the final corner. Guffey will win for the transfer at the line. It's close, but it's Drake. Drake has it. The gap was awfully short. 0.005, 0.055. 0.055 between Drake and Ramsey at the end, but Dakota holds on. Carson Guffey, Corbin Ramsey, Nicholas Howard, and Dakota Drake to the A main tonight. Ryder Jacobson shows them 1. Off of the distance, they're giving us a little bit of a preview of what to come. Micro sprints under the lights and under the boom booms here on mid-season championship night at Deming Speedway. Down the back straightaway for the final time before we get to green, it's Mackie and Constance as they roll into turn number 3. And out of corner number 4, green flag, we go racing. Colin Mackey has got the jump. Constance trying to stick right with him. It's a car length between them, but we got a couple together and slow at the back of the field. They get back to it. We stay green. Can they all make it through 4? They cannot. Wickard up against the wall in the 4th corner, and we'll have to try again. All cars must finish the initial lap for it to count, and Wicker had slowed up at the entrance of 3 and just kind of creeped along the wall. I didn't see him hit anything. I didn't see anybody run him over or get it airborne.
A lot better attitude on the front of that car than it was pulling off. So lights are out around Deming Speedway. We got a restart coming up.
Second try for Mackey and Constance. Everybody stacking up in behind them as they make their way through 3 and off of corner number 4 for the second time we're green. This time, Constance was ahead down the front straightaway. Mackey, though, great bite off the bottom of 2. The flip-flop lanes into 3 and 4. Who's got it? It's Mackey, then Constance, and Chorney. 1 through 3 on the opening lap.
Racing all through your top 5 as you've got Hillier sideways through 1 and 2. Tristan Thomas going to look to the bottom. Hillier slams the door on him, but there's good racing back there with Resch, Thomas, and Hillier.
Remember, every time Savannah has won in the juniors, Levi has won in the 600s. He's got some work to do, though, as he sits outside the top 5 right now. He's got Dylan Resch trying to come up and around. Big contact between the two. Resch drives away and hangs on to her. Levi back to the low side as they're side by side for 6, but give the position to Resch as we complete the lap.
Chorney stalking second place. Spencer Constance trying to get that car wound up on the top. Getting some good momentum off of 2, but just not quite enough to get up next to Spencer in 78.
So it is Mackey, Constance, Chorney, 1 through 3. Green is 4. Tulakis around, coming down the front straightaway. Cloud of dust, caution flag for visibility. As Ryder Jacobson, he saw the car get straight, but he said, yeah, guys, we need to give this a second to settle down so we can all see. And the yellow will fly. 4 down, 26 to go. Your race leader, Mackey, can start at the black stripe at the apex of turns 3 and 4. Constance is going to be tasked with keeping up with him, and at the same time, keeping off a very hungry Tank Chorney, who has been looking to advance from 3rd for a second. We're back to green. Late restart comparatively for Mackey. Watch as they all come past the orange cone. And 1 and 2. We got one around. And it is Cooper Anderson. Anderson keeps it going, but Wickard's slowing. Wickard knows if he brings out a caution, he is done here. And they will keep her up and running.
Watching back here for the 5th spot, Green, Hillier, Mitchell, Peterson. That is a 4-car battle, and Mitchell gets sideways. That's going to open the door for Tristan Thomas to come around the top as Hillier and Green battling for that 5th spot.
And that was Resch moving up into 4th, shuffling Green backwards as Hilliard across the front nose of Peterson. Now Levi crossing down low to try to make a move on Green. Peterson right up on his back. Love tap to the rear bumper of David Green, and this is all for 5th.
That gave Hillier the advantage on Green, and now Peterson's still back there in that 7th spot. Your leader, though, is Colin Mackey. Here about the next 5 laps, he's got a clear track.
About the only safe place on this racetrack is out in front where Colin Mackey is right now. Everybody else willing to come up on you and throw an absolute bomb. It's knockout punches for mid-pack positions as Chorney now under the gun from Resch as we hit lap 10.
Mitchell and Green are throwing it at each other. Mitchell's throwing a slider bomb on him. Oh, Peterson and Hillier were together on the back straightaway. They kept it straight, but Peterson's now looking to the bottom of Hillier down the front straightaway.
The veteran and the defending Clay Cup champion getting after it as that's for 5th position. Give it to Peterson. Peterson uncharacteristically has been kept out of victory lane in the micro this year. Looking to pick her up as he's now got 5th. He's starting to add a little pad and trying to hunt down Resch. Your leader now into traffic, 13 and 17 to go.
Racing all over this track, and that's going to be a handful for Colin Mackey to handle once he gets there. There's cars in every lane coming up in a pack in front of him.
Mackey up and around Chorney. The first lap car is now in the books and then behind him. Constance has used the opportunity to narrow the gap. It's half a straightaway now between them as Chorney goes to the top. Perfect scenario for Spencer. He loves the low side as we're halfway home. 15 in, 15 to go. Chorney chops down in front of Constance to keep the 2nd place car in behind him. So Spencer in second, trying to run down Mackey. He clears Chorney, and Mackey kind of tiptoeing his way into the back of this field. Got to be careful because the 78 is on the hunt.
The race is now for the third spot. You've got Resch holding it, but you got Tank Chorney on the top. Jared Peterson on the bottom, stalking the 23R. Chorney's going to look to the top, and Resch gets that drive off the bottom. It's a three-car battle for that third spot.
Your lead two have one lap car in between them and a huge pack there. Then back for them, three cars just absolutely getting after it for the position. Right now, Resch has it. Chorney coming back after him, and Peterson lingering in. Meanwhile, for the lead, down to a car length, heading into turn number one, side by side at the apex of the corner.
Last lap, Constance was right on Mackey's bumper. He was able to sneak away. Constance is going to look to the bottom of Mackey out of four. There's lap cars all in front of your leaders.
Mackey goes down. He'll follow Wickard. Constance, quick adjustment to the high side. Out of turn number two. Space at a minimum. Up and around the high side goes Spencer for the lead. Lap 21, Constance has it.
Constance to the lead in quarter number one. There's a yellow. It's Tank Chorney who is running in your fourth position.
And heartbreak for Constance. Not every car crossed on the lap. He took the lead. He will go to second. Colin Mackey gets the get out of jail free card and back to the point. And we will show one. Orange cone out of the front straightaway. You cannot hit the cone, go underneath the cone. You cannot advance your front tires to the rear tires of the car in front of you before the cone as well. If you do any of those things, you'll be penalized at the next race stoppage, whether that's a yellow, red, or a checkered flag.
10 laps to go. Colin Mackey leads Spencer Constance and Dylan Resch. Back to the green flag out of four. We're back underway.
Oh, Spencer's right there. Right there on him, getting into one and two. As your top five have now made it past the slower car. Hillier has gotten to fourth, up ahead of Peterson coming after Resch. But the battle for the lead, not quite over yet.
Mackey rolling that bottom through one and two. Now Constance going to look to the bottom as Mackey goes to the top in three and four, trying to find that little strip of grip there. Spencer Constance. Here in this
and Kyle Mitchell says, I'm going to be a top five machine tonight. He drives up and around Peterson. There goes the slide job from third base all the way into the bullpen. Can't quite stick it though. As Peterson back up and around him. Peterson now on the march, coming after Hillier for fourth.
That battle for that fourth spot is the battle to watch. Peterson's going to get by Hillier down the front straightaway. Hillier's going to put the bottom, but the yellow flag's out.
Howard's 8H couldn't get far enough off the racetrack in turn number one. Crew will get to him and get him moved. So on the 23rd lap, Mackey, Constance, Resch, Hillier, Mitchell, Peterson. And that one spot in the sequencing can make a huge difference.
Speedway, we've got 7 laps left. Are you ready? Colin Mackey, Spencer Constance, Dylan Resch, Levi Hillier, Kyle Mitchell.
Watch and see if Constance can get to Mackey and get him again. He's done it once. It just didn't stick due to an ill-timed yellow. We're back to green. Once again, Colin will go down low. Spencer trying to come off, cheating his way to the cushion. As the race for fourth on again, and things getting very narrow between Hillier, Peterson, and Mitchell.
Your top three kind of sneaking away from the drama that is the race for that fourth position. Peterson now up to fifth. He's going to start stalking that 24L as Kyle Mitchell isn't done yet.
For second, Resch is up on the back of Constance, looking for the spot as Hillier trying to keep him within striking distance as well. We're down to 4 to go. Mackey leads and is stretching. Constance, Resch, Hillier now to the top with the wing in the trunk. Down to the bottom, slide job through 1 and 2. For third, Hillier can't quite stick it. He'll go back up top, and he's bringing Peterson with him. Resch down low, Hillier up top. Peterson lingering as we're down to 3 to go. Back straight away is Hillier trying to wind up his momentum once again as we're down to 2 laps left. Drives up and around the outside of Resch. Levi's got third. Resch back to the inside, overcooks it, gathers it back together, but cedes the spot to Peterson and to Mitchell. 1 to go for Mackey. Mackey has led them all, at least as far as the books are concerned. And here tonight on mid-season championship night, win number 7, Colin Mackey. Constant second, Hillier scrambles to third. Peterson and Mitchell a whale of a top 5 as Resch losing power at the very end. .30 incredible laps from the Speed Mart 600s tonight. Checkered flag throws at 10:33 p.m.
Down here with the winner of the Speed Mart 600s, Colin Mackey. Man, oh man, what a race. Tell me about that.
That was a really tough race. I knew this from packing that this track was going to be really technical and really slick, especially in 1 and 2. So I knew my best bet is keep my momentum going all through the night and make sure my pace is good. Just about lost it in lap traffic there. We had some cars that were all racing together and didn't really have a line chosen and no consistency. So yeah, Spencer got us about halfway through. I knew he was going to get me, but I was just kind of biding my time, waiting for a good opportunity that just never came. Fortunately enough, we had a yellow come out at the right time, and I knew we weren't going to be able to get into lap traffic after that, and just after that, just make sure my pace is good and cruise to the finish. But I really cannot do this without the amazing people surrounding me. My father, Peter Marine Fabrication, Dick Williams, Fast Time Wing, Scott Reed, Reed Auto Machine, 2 best friends, Shay and Eric, helping out every week during the weekdays, getting us out here. My grandfather came out to cheer us on tonight, so that was really cool. And Joe's chassis is absolutely incredible. I'm so glad we're switching to the Joe's thing, and such good people over there trying to help us out. 92.9 KSM, Borthwick Diamond Jewelers, Phil Perkins Upland Developers, Superflow Graphics, Harry Docking Racing Engines, Evo Fuel Injection. Man, there's so many people helping us out, and I could not do with everyone.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Give it up for your winner, Colin Mackey.